Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to The Boys Gen V Season 1 Episode 6, titled Jumanji. The Godolphin University School of Crime Fighting is excited to announce its newest course, The Psychology of Supervillains. By studying the most well-known example of a supervillain, Soldier Boy, the course will investigate what makes a superhero go bad, from their flawed origin story to the vices and moral compromises that led them astray. Space is limited, sign up today. So, again, no clue what that's going to do. Based on the track record, has nothing to do with the episode, or is only tangentially related to the episode. And the thumbnail doesn't give anything away. It's just Marie, the male Jordan, and the guy whose house they were at in the last episode, sitting in the woods. Not the woods, just actual woods. So, got no clue what to expect in this episode. So, let's just get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So, I have seen a theory going around that maybe the virus that the doctor was talking about is responsible for Sam's condition, and that they're using that to control him, but it's also having a bad effect on him, and that's what they're trying to refine. Problem is, he was in the other institution before the school. I'm about to pass out. I wonder if we're going to find out the benefactor in the actual season, or if that's going to be how this ends. It was also pointed out, I forget who said it, that Luke did at one point ask to forget, and she said no. So it's possible that he asked again, and that is why um, she eventually relented to. I mean, she's possibly gonna die either way. honestly, hemokinesis is a fucking powerful superpower. This is a fire breathing one, I assume, just based on the coughing. No? Yes, so eventually Marie's going to be able to separate the compounds in the blood. That's what her is ultimately that's what hers is ultimately working up to. That's my prediction. Okay, so it's not the fire breathing one. Unless I guess fire and lightning are in some way related. Um, because when Luke was coming out of shit, he went into woods and that. That would be Kate's mom. She's interesting. And her brain's fallen apart. What the fuck are you doing here? Really? What the fuck? I was not expecting we'd see Soldier Boy again. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if she dies, well, synapses. Nope, aneurysm. You're getting zapped, aren't you? As soon as he started saying that, you knew. Yeah. Well, the synopsis did mention Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy's in the episode. Like I said, tangentially related. Never done this. I've been locked up my entire life. Here's the thing: if you've, I know this isn't important, but if you've been locked up your entire life, away from all, like, pretty much everything, how would you develop to be able to know what to do to be able to jack off? Like, is that like innately inbuilt into a person, or uh, I was not expecting puppet halfway through. Really? How did Dusty get brought in? He wasn't even nearby. And then again, how did the others get brought in? Because only Marie was in touching distance. Did she actually have such a heavy duty door, or is that just an altered memory? Okay, also. What voices? She's she's not a pusher. She's a telepath, isn't she? It's gonna be their first meeting. Well, at least he's upfront about it. Is there a part of Luke in here the same way there was Soldier Boy? Hmm. Thought he said it didn't happen till after. What the hell does that mean? Is Dusty dead? Like mentally? was that about? Hmm. Hmm. So they've been through Kate. I'm assuming the classroom was Andre. That was Jordan. What's Marie gonna show him? You as a puppet. I mean, that would be a side effect of. Oh, what the? That was a surprise. No, I can feel a hiccup burp coming on. we're in the woods. Hmm. What were they doing? You can't run from someone in their own mind. And now we get to Marie. What do you have hidden? Because Jordan already knows about the parents. She's got to confront her sister. Okay. But nothing will bring them back. We saw the scene. We know she did lose control. No, you wake up and face your issues. Still a little confused about what all these voices are. Because it doesn't seem like it ever amounted to anything. It's just. Maybe she does take a imprint of the people she touches, and that's the voices. They do seem to prefer the female version. Hmm. Still want to know what happened to Dustin. Like, his body wasn't in any of the wide shots, so that could have been a continuity thing. Problem is, she's not going to let any of you get close enough to her. She exploded in lightning, didn't she? Not quite. This was never about control, was it? She wants to kill all Soups. Right, so she's the striker figure. Got it. That was a very interesting episode. I'm not sure what I was expecting going into it, but it definitely wasn't that. Still confused as to what the voices are. Like, and they never said that. Like, obviously the layout for that scene with Golden Boy was Kate's memory of their first meeting. Like, that's very obvious, but the fact that he was able to bring up stuff from Andre's past, then again, that's also stuff from Kate's, so I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's very weird. Honestly, out of all of them, uh, Jordan had the least, um, like, incriminating memory. Like, sure, they were there at the start. They, were manipulated by Brink and everything, and they were, like, they didn't really know what was going on. They were just there to protect Brink in the case anything was to try and attack him again. It's unclear as to whether they've stood up to Golden Boy multiple times or if it was just the once. But they did know something was going up with Brink and didn't do anything about it. So their hands aren't clean of it. But it definitely, out of all of the people there, Marie is on the bottom tier. Then you got Jordan. Then you got Andre, because he was part of a... Like, he knew that he was cheating when he hooked up with Kate and everything. Then you've got Kate at the very top. Was not expecting to get Soldier Boy in this episode. Was definitely not. I'm surprised they even showed a classroom. Like, technically, what the synopsis promised was in there. Like, there was a thing about Soldier Boy. There was a classroom setting. Like, those two can go together to form a class on Soldier Boy. But obviously, it wasn't what the actual thing was about. Yeah. So, how did Kate manage to affect all of them, though? Like, she was already knocked out when they brought her to the couch. When Dusty walked out of the... I'm assuming him even walking into that room was part of the thing. And that everything from when they laid her on the couch was part of the illusion. That would also explain why Dusty wasn't in that shot. He never even made it into the room. He's just in I'd assume, vegetative state upstairs. Or maybe he was part of the illusion too. That's a bit unclear. He was able to pass from scene to scene though, so that throws a little spanner in that suggestion. But yeah. A very weird episode. It also, in the same way that the last episode recontextualized some of the scenes with Kate from earlier episodes and from early on in the last episode, this episode recontextualizes Tech Knight's question to Andre about how long had he been eating Golden Boy's girlfriend's hole. Like, Andre said it's not like it wasn't until after, or whatever it was that he exactly said, that everyone took to be. Like, no, it wasn't until after he died that that happened. Like, that's what we assumed. Like, I even thought that there was just a budding thing from the second episode. But no, that was from well before Golden Boy's death. Like, here's the thing. Andre, he gives off very bisexual energy. Like, we've seen... There was stuff in the first episode that sort of implied that he hooked up with guys before. And we know that he was hitting on the girl in the club. And he was hitting and hooking up with Kate. So, why didn't they just suggest the three of them? I know that wouldn't have helped with the the feelings that he actually had for her, but it also wouldn't have been both of them going behind Luke's back. Who knows? Maybe they did, and that's just not shown off on the camera. One thing I will say is this show, surprisingly, given that it's a college setting, is a lot less liberal with actual nudity. Like, sure, we had Rufus, but, like, everything else has either been implied or covered. Like, that's a little surprising considering how much is shown in the actual show. Like, I thought about this with Emma and Sam. Like, when they had it in the dark, I'm like, okay, they're just obscuring it in the dark like they normally do. Then no, she still had her top on, which you'd think this boy's just gotten out of lockup for most of his life. You'd at least let him see everything. I probably shouldn't say things like that, but I have. I'm on the record saying that. I'm not going to bother taking it out of this episode, but yeah, so just something I've noticed. I'm not saying this show needs it. In fact, I'd say that the main show has way more than is necessary. But I would have expected more out of a college setting when the precedent is already there. Not less. But anyway, I've gotten off track. I'm not even really talking about the episode anymore, so that's a good sign that I should end this. Because I wasn't even really reacting verbally to this episode. I was just sitting there trying to take in everything that was being shown. Like, Shetty has been manipulating Kate since before she came to Godolphin. What were those pills? What were the voices they were talking about? Like, as I said, she's got this power, this mental power. And she was given pills to stop voices. And the thing, like, a B power of telepaths, the ones that are able to project their thoughts, a common B power of that is the ability to push people. And so I thought that, so she's got this power, she's given what I'm assuming are, like, blockers that reduce her power, and she's talking about voices. Like, I thought, oh, it's going to be assumed that if she stops taking these, she's going to be able to do more with her power. And I guess possibly that is the case because she was able to area of effect with her power. But yeah, because if you actually look at them when they're lying on the floor, just trying to see the There we go. Close enough. Was it before this or no? Okay, it was before then. I think it may have been not long after Soldier Boy first showed up. But it didn't seem like any of them were actually touching when there we go. It was before she was even, like, little Kate was shown. Whatever it was, I can't find the actual scene. Dylan from the future here. So I've gone back and looked through the episode, trying to find that scene I was talking about, because I wanted to add it into this reaction. The thing is, I didn't find the scene, but I did find something that, well, I didn't find it yet, but I did find something that is interesting in the fact that what I initially thought, just before Kay passed out, was her brain relaying what Jordan and Marie had just said. Because I wasn't really paying attention at that point to what the subtitles was. No. Those were their thoughts. So she is a telepath. Now to go back to searching the episode to try and find that scene. Okay, so I finally found it. Andre and Marie, they are touching their hands. And no, that's Marie and Jordan, sorry. And Andre and Jordan, Jordan's foot is touching Andre's leg. However, that is how they fell. So, obviously, well, Jordan and Marie may have been touching arms before they fell. I highly doubt that Jordan's leg was up on Andre's leg before it. So she was able to area of effect. Which, combined with the fact that, yeah, she can hear your thoughts on that, she's definitely more powerful. Anyway, back to whatever I was saying. None of them were actually touched. I thought maybe when it was first shown that they were in Kate's head, that maybe they were all like touching in some way and it just sort of traveled through them. But no, when it cut back to the second time that they were shown on the ground, they weren't touching or anything. They were all just close but not quite touching. And yeah, so it obviously area affected them, which means that yes, her power is a lot stronger than we initially thought. But the question is, how powerful, and are there any like additional things that come with it? But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. Very interested to see what's going to happen. Obviously, they're going to try and send Kate to get close to Shetty because, well, no one else is going to be able to get close enough. They're definitely not going to be able to get her to admit to anything. So, it's gonna have to be Kate. The question is Shetty going to catch on to it straight away, or is she going to be sucked in and then, well, probably there's going to be a slip up and then she'll catch on? also the fact that she created the virus to control soups. That's what she said to the doctor. And then it made the one they have in lockup sick. And, well, then it's revealed, oh no, actually, even just a slightly higher dosage than what he gave them is enough to kill them. Now, yes, that may have been a dosage on top of the dosage that was already in them, but still, just such a tiny margin of error in something like that would make it not viable for, like, distribution. There's also the fact that she then goes on, oh, this killed the soup. Can you make it contagious? She clearly wants to release it throughout the school. This is the school for the top hero prospects, as far as we're aware. I don't know if there's, like, supplementary material that goes into other soup schools and everything. As far as I know, this is the top of the top for superhero schools. And she wants to release a virus that can target the Gen V in people's blood and kill them. As I said, it's probably going to get to the point where Marie is able to extract components from blood. Like how her power has very quickly been jumping up in stages. Like, she's been practicing for years in the facility. But now that she's at this school, she's finding out so many things very quickly that she wasn't aware her power was able to do. Like, as I said in the last episode, it's been about a week. And and all the things that she's like, I didn't know I could do that. I don't know how I'm doing it. Like, in just 1 week, imagine how powerful her power actually is if she was to, like, fully realize what she's capable, i.e. being able to separate the blood to either save the people from this virus that's going to be going around, which is, like I said, the obvious end goal of this season, or she may even get to the point where she could extract the compound V from people. Yes, I know that is a theory that other people have said. But if she was able to do that, if she's able to neutralize other soups, that may be why she has a benefactor. Why Dr. Cardoza thought she could be very useful for this research. And yeah, so it's going to be very interesting because remember, that's what Soldier Boy could do. He could burn the V out of people's blood. And if Marie could do that without the massive explosions, that would be terrifying in the context of this world. But who knows if they're actually going to go that route or if they've got other plans for her. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.